I'm going to do another video on this in the future, very near future, but in the meantime, I do want to talk about this problem that I think we have with RuneScape. Now, Jagex has updated the blog here from yesterday. Now, the one problem I find, this is a personal problem I have with Jagex a little bit, is that when they're updating their blog updates here, they're not pinging their Discord, they're not letting anyone know, but they are posting on Twitter. Twitter, as they proved in their sailing blog, is the least used social media alongside Facebook with Oldschool Runescape. It might be on Reddit too, but otherwise, like a lot of people, you guys come to the stream, a lot of you guys don't know what's going on. They tweeted and said, we're reverting two of the recent farming quality life changes next week. Tall leprechauns will return to their original spots and gardeners will be free to roam once again. But you guys wouldn't have known about this happening unless you had the Twitter. This is 2 hours ago. But they have updated it on the website. Who the fuck sits here refreshing this? So, following the feedback, we'll be reverting two specific changes made in this update. The tall leprechaun locations and movement restrictions on the gardeners. Many of you let us know that leprechaun positions weren't as helpful as intended. Others felt the original placements were already well placed and part of the rhythm of farming. Now, we're going to have a quick look at two different spots because, look, the rhythm of farming, the rhythm of anything is going to change when there's changes. So if you feel like the rhythm of farming has gotten worse because of leprechaun changes, that's how fucking changes work. But you give it a week or two, the habit will be better, back to normal. I think this is a better leprechaun placement. I don't think there's anyone in the game that thinks this is worse than here. You go here, you farm, and then you exchange your tools. This is much closer, much better. Excellent. I haven't seen any other leprechaun placements at the moment. I saw a picture of one zoomed in. I didn't know which farming patch it was. But I think not all of them needed to be moved. Troll Stronghold. This guy didn't even fucking move. They moved this forward one tile, I think. I think they moved it forward one tile. That's objectively better, but that wasn't necessary. And then the other farming patch I do is Glade. Now there might be other patches. I'm sure some of them are worse. I don't doubt that for a second. This guy hasn't fucking moved either. They've left this leprechaun in the same spot. I really thought that the Troll Stronghold one, and maybe someone said Mauritania, were the only two leprechauns that were in a bit retarded spots, right? So, I'm all for the Troll Stronghold movement. I don't feel like any others need to be moved, right? The Mori one, and you'll love it. Yeah, they go to the Mauritania one. Let's have a look at the Mauritania one. We'll have a look at that. So I personally think that if the rhythm's been disrupted, then whatever. Like, it's only disrupted until you get used to it. It's a new habit. That's literally how change works. Similarly, we're locking gardeners to a small area. While locking gardeners to a small area is meant as a convenience, players felt it took away from the world's liveliness and charm. That sentence is the most ridiculous fucking thing I've ever heard from Jagex, and they did those surveys this year. I think that sentence is more ridiculous than those fucking surveys they proposed. This here, this part of the sentence right here is worse than the fucking surveys. Players felt it took away from the world's liveliness and charm. In a game that's a good leprechaun spot. That is good. How does this ruin the flow of farming? This is objectively a better spot. That's a good spot for a leprechaun. That is crazy. There's no way Jagex... That's a buff. That's big. Why would you remove that? Why is this a sentence? Which content creator do we blame for this? We don't blame a content creator. I'm going to show you what it is in just a moment. These changes came from a backlog ticket that had been sitting with us for some time. In hindsight, they should have been communicated more clearly and likely polled. As we do with our quality life changes, we're actively reviewing the internal process to make sure these kinds of updates are surfaced earlier and given the same visibility and scrutiny as other game changes. So, they're going to change it back next Wednesday. I can fix this for Jagex right now. I said it earlier on stream, but I'm going to say it now for you guys again. All Jagex needs to do to make sure that the quality of life changes are, well, the internal process to make sure that the updates are surfaced earlier and given the same visibility and scrutiny, you don't have to do that. All you have to do as a Jmod, I'll show you what you do, okay? I'll log out, okay? I'll close the game, all right? This is all you got to do, Jagex, okay? All you do is you load up your client, all right? When you're at work, pull up the test servers, do the changes, all right? Or have them side by side, load up your client, you're looking good. Looking forward to the new farming update that we're releasing this week as a surprise for the community. Leprechauns have moved, gardeners are fixed. This is going to be great. So, you load up when RuneLite loads, alright? For some reason, loaded on my other monitor. Okay, all you do is you log in, alright? Press the login button. Wait for it to connect to the servers. You click here to play. And then, you test the content. You give it a shot, alright? You go and you do a farm, do a couple farm runs, you know, different patches. Maybe get a colleague to do the same thing, get a second opinion, take 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then do them side by side and think, is it better to have the leprechaun here or here? What is physically better? This farmer's standing still, chilling there. Is that better or is it worse? This farmer's not even locked into... Are they meant to be staying still or just walking in a 3 square radius? This farmer's fucking walking around loose. Locked into a small area. Okay, that's locked to a small area. That's all you've got to do. Just log in and test the content. If you do that, you'll find a lot of success with your updates. What the fuck is flashing? Why are we flashing red? Oh, right, farming, forestry update. So, this is the bigger problem though. It's this Reddit post. Farmers not wandering around makes the game less lively. This is the top 1% poster. Someone called P.O. This is the Karen of fucking RuneScape. Not sure why this unchanged poll, so this unpolled change was made, but I'm sad that it was. I didn't like it when they made this change to RS3. I don't like it again now. It's a fucking RuneScape 3 player. Having the gardeners wander around near their patches just gave the game a little more life. Now they're like soldiers confined to a 2-tile move radius. I feel like between this and the proposed clue skip tokens, that post from a few weeks ago about how optimizing away all the little pain points in the game is going to kill it feels more relevant than ever. Edit. I replied to a comment with this but want to include it here. Obviously this one change in isolation will not kill the game, but it points out a development direction that favors optimized / efficient gameplay over having a lively game atmosphere and environment. Enough such changes will indeed make the game lose its charm and lose a substantial amount of player base if they continue down that path. Okay. I see your point. It depends if you want to brush the world with one coat of paint. And if you do that, what happens when you brush with one coat of paint? It's going to crack, right? So you can't do that. You can't paint the world with one coat. So let's keep that in mind going forward. I don't think this was really an efficient... I mean, it wasn't an efficient gameplay route. You could argue it was more efficient. I don't know if it was actually done for efficiency. Troll Stronghold, the Leprechaun being moved, yes, it's more efficient, but I don't think this was done for efficiency. I think this was done because it's better, right? Personally, I don't think Jagex was like, we need to make farming more efficient. Let's move and let's restrict where the farmers go. I don't think that was the goal. Should they have polled it? Absolutely. Absolutely, I'm down for them polling it. The fact that it's got 2,700 likes, the fact that it says it makes the game less lively, I think that's horseshit. I am shocked. Today I found out that people do farm runs in RuneScape, run around, go to their fucking the Catherby patch that I've got here, okay? And they are feeling immersed and embracing the liveliness of the game. And because this farmer is moving no more than 3 squares away from, like, I guess this tile here, farm runs are now less fun. There's nothing fucking else here. There's an impling once every never. There's no other players. I don't think the farmer being restricted to a smaller radius so that they're not wandering the fuck off is really ruining the liveliness of the game. And I don't think it's going to promote more ruining of liveliness in the game. I think it's just going to make it less weird. Right? I do a farm run and want it to be over fast. Exactly. Farm runs suck. Farming sucks. If that leprechaun has a rainbow bikini is inexcusable and I'm offended. Does it have a rainbow bikini? I didn't see that. Thanks to whoever bought me a subscription. You're a lad. No worries, mate. Nobody pays the allotment farms in it. Exactly. It's only tree patches, right? Would be better if they had changed them to maybe do a route and mime tending the crops. Keep them close but still organic. They're not just standing at attention, they're tending the patches. That is kind of cool. I get that. I mean, you could argue that, like, this region here, have them tending to the patches, sure. But at the end of the day, you're fucking around with a farmer. It's a farming NPC. Does it actually fucking matter? Who gives a fuck? You do farming because you want the XP, you want the profit, or you don't want to fucking do the skill, get it 99, get over with. Unless these people are actually going through the text dialogues every time and reading them out loud in their roleplay voice, they should shut the fuck up. I agree. This is role-playing to the next level. This is furry shit. These are the sort of people that dress up and fucking are purring at the mic as the fucking game is talking back to them. Like, go play Dungeons and Dragons, cunt. It's not a tabletop game. Like, this is absurd. Made the routes loop every minute on the dot. Not knowing where the farmer is at the exact second becomes skill expression. Starting your farm runs tick perfect to get optimal farmer spawns every time for that 1% higher efficient hours played. So this guy's joking, and some people will take that seriously, and I really don't like that. They're going to change it back, yes. And so, I don't think it's necessary. It wasn't unpolled, it was polled Q15 and failed in 16. Do we have... Here we go. Oh, here we go. That's what old mate said in the chat, eh? While work continues on Monkey Bandits 2... Fuck, that's a long time ago. We're offering another bundle of small updates. Should it be possible to create placeholders and items in your bank? 92%. Who the fuck voted no for placeholders? Jesus. Should the perk of the fishing skill cape be unlimited teleports to Otto's Grotto rather than unlimited teleports to Fishing Guild? Oh, rather than... Oh. Yeah, I'm glad that didn't pass. I mean, I don't really care, but they both got teleports now. Currently, the perk of the magic skill cape allows you to swap spellbook for a single spell once per day. Should the perk instead allow us to change spellbook permanently once per day? It's currently the perk of the magic skill cape allows you to swap spellbook for a single spell once per day. Oh, shit. Oh, that's a big buff. But still, once per day. So we're at 5 now anyway, so it got another buff. What apparently we had skill cape updates. Currently, the perk of the smithing cape provides the same effect as the goldsmithing gauntlets. Should we increase the coal bag capacity? Whatever. Where's the one that we need? I don't care about all these. Farming. Looking for the word farm. Here you go. Should farmers at farming patches be made to stand still? It barely... Well, it was 75% back then. It failed. It failed. Poll it again today. See what happens. That is crazy. But it was 2016, completely different game, completely different player base, completely different environment. A lot of people weren't playing in 2016 that they are today. A lot of people that are playing in 2016 aren't playing today. So, repoll it. I bet it would pass today. But still, very interesting. I didn't know they polled that before. As if someone fucking found that out. All right. Yeah, how do you know? Yeah, how the fuck do you know this? I agree. Such a weird choice as well. Who was complaining about farmers? It's not as if protecting allotments is common or necessary. Just plant flowers. Trees are the only crops I think people gradually protect past early game, and even then, it's dubiously worthwhile. Jambo is correct. Who was complaining? At the same time, the argument can be made for this. Who the fuck is complaining about the game being less lively? I think the argument can be made for both. I think this is more or less a buff. If the only concern is that it makes the game less lively, I think this is pathetic. Jagex should just be like, shut the fuck up. Who cares? I think that's a silly idea, a silly excuse to be making these changes. Now, it doesn't actually affect me, so I guess at the end of the day, I don't care. But this guy here is complaining. He's saying that, okay, so I feel like between this and the proposed clues skip tokens, that post from a few weeks ago about how optimizing away all the little pain points in the game is going to kill it feels more relevant than ever, right? He's worried that doing little changes like this is going to kill the game. I'm worried that Reddit posts like this is going to kill the game. Because if you're complaining about the game not feeling lively enough, so they're rolling back a pointless change, what's to stop Jagex from doing it to a more impactful change when you're complaining about something pointless no one cares about? This is a crazy thing to be crying about. The game not being lively enough on a fucking farm patch is insane. Sets a standard to remove quirks from the game. All it takes is for someone to cry, there to be 2,000 upvotes, and then Jmods go, that's enough people. It's crazy. Definitely playing OSRS for its charm and liveliness. You probably haven't fucking hit members yet then, clearly. How to divide the player base 101. It's very silly, hey? If the game itself becomes optimized for efficiency, then finding ways to be efficient becomes less fun for the people interested in that. Well, the only people looking for ways to be... What do you mean? Just fucking Google how to be efficient. I don't think that's particularly radical idea. I feel like people that are looking for ways to become efficient is a very small niche, right? Because then you just post it, and then the way to find how to be efficient, you just Google it. It's not lively enough, so they should make the farm patches grow in real time. Maybe Jagex should stop banning the farming bots. so that the game feels more lively and it looks like people are actually farming. Because they haven't banned the LMS bots, and LMS feels lively because there's people there all the time. They haven't banned all the Slayer bots because I go to fucking do Smoke Devils and there's Smoke Devil bots in every world trying to fucking hit my Smoke Devils while I'm cannoning them with my mage. Feels lively in there because there's people. Maybe stop banning the farming bots. Like every other fucking bot. I'm glad that I'm not the only one who thinks this is aggressively babying the player base. I don't think it's #1 comment. I mean, these are fucking Reddit Andys, you know? Very RSPS move. Let's place the NPCs in a single tile forever. Like leprechauns always have been. Like this guy said here. I don't think that's have leprechauns ever been a problem for anyone? Other than the one, like the Mauritanian, the Troll Stronghold ones? Leprechauns should have some magic shed kind of things that you have to build yourself before you can access them. So, dude, this guy needs to shut the fuck up. Oh my god. Wish there was more roaming NPCs in general, especially in towns. Overcoming the friction is a huge part of what makes this game satisfying to play. Man, people on Reddit are very weird. What are these fucking comments? Stackable clues aren't happening. They're not doing the stackable clues either. That's true. They didn't post this as well either. You'd only get this post if, guess what, you were on Reddit, on Twitter, or if you went to this post here and read it here, because they didn't alert the player base, okay? They didn't alert you unless you're on social media, and a lot of people are not. So I've got you covered, okay? Thank you so much for your passion and feedback shown, Poll 84. We've been listening closely, and while many of the things we're looking to poll have been positively received, there's significant discussion around stackable clues, particularly around skip tokens, stacking caps, and the 1 hour clue timer. It's clear this part of the update would benefit from more time and deeper player involvement before we move forward. They're going to get no monkey to do it for them, is what they're saying. With all that said, here's what we're going to be doing next. So to start, we'll be separating all things stackable clues from the rest of the proposed updates. This means that everything else in this blog will be featured in the poll opening on Monday, April 14th. While that poll is ongoing, we'll be working on an updated proposal for stackable clues that addresses as much of your feedback as possible. Doing this because we appreciate the stackable clues probably warrant more discussion than the other things on offer here, and it's perhaps a little more optimistic for us to expect to knock this one out of the park straight away. I think that's fair. While we don't have an exact date in mind, stackable clues and discussions around skip tokens or despawn timers will be ongoing. Meaning you won't be waiting months for the update. For the time being, we think you can expect to hear from us within a couple of weeks about this at the absolute most. We're looking to get something in front of you ASAP. I think that's good. I think Jagex is taking a good approach here. I think that's very good. I think the feedback on the clue scores has been much louder, much more widely received than farmers standing still or farmers being in small radiuses. At least in my area, my field, I've seen videos and more tweets and posts about it. So about farmers being in the wrong spot, this is just someone being a bitch, to be honest. But Jagex is taking the approach here, right? They're separating it, they're going to revisit it, they're going to give us a new proposal. I don't think that's really bad. I think the whole thing of the skip token is going to end up being scrapped. Probably that or a re-roll, but they should scrap it, yes. As an Iron, I don't want to catch Ecletics and just do one meeting clue at a time. That is not fun. They'll come back with a new stackable proposal. Probably still have a longer despawn timer as well. Maybe closer to 5, 10, 15 minutes. Who knows? 30 minutes. I don't know. Maybe they'll leave it at an hour. But I think stackable clues is far better than juggling, and it's not even close. Like we've been discussing it today. Just the juggling is nowhere near as good as stacking clues. It's not even funny. If you can't do the clue, you don't get the clue reward. Simple as that. Well, there's also that in mind. But I did want to just share this and talk about this Reddit post. It's very interesting. I'm disappointed to see this. I don't know if there's any other Reddit posts. Farming change update. So there's proposed state tower shortcut is poorly thought out and shouldn't be implemented as described in the blog. Fuck, people really don't like anything Jagex does, eh? Mechathenic trades require all best in slot boots. What the fuck? This has got 200 upvotes? With 99 agility and 0 weight, you should be able to run forever. Fair. So far, only Trails has the most compelling suggestion regarding the recent clue scroll blog. I'll watch that another day. This guy's had 0 fucking feedback in a minute. Oh, okay, it's been a minute. Remember polling? I also remember this poll. See question. Oh, okay, so this guy's upset about the farmers standing still. Okay, fair enough. Alright, so there's not really anything else here for the farming as far as I know. Just someone kind of going off the poll. Clue skipping. What do you guys think of the Oathplate armor, by the way? I think it looks fucking sick. Okay. Picture of Modash. Trade with good tokens are the most egregious possible suggestions possible. Yeah, I agree. Alright, so it doesn't look like too much of a hot topic. It's more or less one tweet. That's funny. Cool. Farm contract dialogue change. Okay, no. Okay, so we're going back further than 2 days now. So it's one Reddit post that's sparked this change. So nice work, Jagex. I think sometimes Jagex, I really wish that they'd just say, you'll be fine. In a week's time, you won't hate it. You'll be happy about it. But if liveliness and Oldschool Runescape is that important to you, then shit. Fucking... I'm slowly losing faith in the player base. What little faith I already have, I guess. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy. It's huge.